Greetings, my friends. My name is Andrea, astrologer, and welcome to this video where I want to talk in broad strokes about 2025 and what can we expect from this year. First of all, I would like to start a bit with the frame of numerology. This year has the vibration of number 9, which is the end of a cycle. It is the last number which has one digit, and this symbolizes also an outcome, an accomplishment, an achievement. And it is associated with planet Mars. So in general, this means that Mars transits would be very important. And this year also starts with Mars retrograde, which is a seldom event, a rare event in astrology. This means that we will have a lot to work on our willpower. It's about Mars. And it is in the sidereal sign of Cancer most of the time, of course, with a bit of retrogression in Gemini at the end of it, but also it started, with the shadow period in the sidereal Leo. So all these signs and the symbolism of these would really tell the story of the year. And Mars is very important for the price action. It is the fuel, the price engine, so to speak, for the markets. Therefore, I think this will be a high focus for 2025. Now, Mars in Gemini, it will be for a short period of time in the sidereal zodiac, is about markets. It's about repairing, restructuring things in the markets, and this is something that, especially for crypto, it happens. We already hear some things about changes and upcoming plans, which is good to put some order, structure and discipline. Mars would really go for that because it's like a soldier which executes. So this is the symbolism of this retrogression in Gemini. We will talk about it a bit later. Then we do have the majority of the action in Cancer. Cancer is the sign of motherly nourishment. It's the sign of home, real estate, and also land in general. It's about nationalism. It's about being patriotic. And these things are also themes that are likely to happen in the world, especially in the first part of the year, because we will have the retrogression until February, and then we will have shadow period around end of April, I think 24th of April, and the real transit that would happen, in a stable manner in the sidereal Leo will be only from the beginning of June. So this time will really focus on repairing things, fixing, because this is Mars and it's the energy of the year in the area of real estate, and because we will also have Jupiter transit in Cancer, in the sidereal Cancer for a brief period of time, we can look also towards increasing prices in real estate. So be aware of that. It could be that it will be a spike for a few months, but this is likely to happen. We can have different rules there. We can have different dynamics in the markets as well. And it's also about innovation, because Mars is a technical planet. We might see also innovations in hospitality, in travel, hotels, for example. Cancer is associated with that as well, but also in food to a certain degree. And Then we do have Leo in focus, and this will be a regal, it's our royal sign of the zodiac, and it has to do with regulation, with governments, people in positions of power, but also big money is Leo. And we can really expect more stability and things to be changed after the mid of the year, in my opinion. So from June onwards, quite starting of June, because this will be a moment when Mars refined so much in the previous signs that this would be a positive foundation, a very solid foundation for future restructuring and a legislative framework that would happen really in the second part of the year. And now I would like to go briefly at global astrology level with the big events quarter by quarter for you, just to have a glance at the next year. We have an interesting start of the year with a sextile between Pluto and Rahu. So big money and cryptocurrency innovation. This means that it will be a powerful year for crypto. This happens on the 6th of January, so it's a very good sign for the year. And despite of the fact that Mars is retrograde, we do have the majority of Mars-related aspects in the sky positive. And this would be good, but we will also have enhanced volatility. This is what it means. And it is really a powerful start. I want also to say that Pluto in general is important for a year where the vibration is 9, because Pluto is also often seen as the higher vibration of Mars. This means that it can be associated also with the frequency of the whole year. Then in February, we do have another big aspect that is in general bad, but I would say that it will depend a lot on how people see it. It's a Neptune-Rahu conjunction, and it is about expansion, but Neptune is unrealistic. On the positive side, it could be that people are optimistic and they are focused towards achieving goals. Therefore, also the markets will not be overblown with unrealistic expectations. This is end of February. But on the other hand, it could happen that it is the lower manifestation of Neptune and Rahu conjunction, and we can have here illusions, expectations that run too high. So it's not such a powerful month, I would say, due to the fact that we do have also aspects from Mars which are negative in the sky. So again, volatility, but still I think it will be a very solid influence from January positive astrology still in the sky. And it depends, of course, the individual horoscopes of financial assets, how they would really influence the global astrology that comes towards them. Now, the third month of the year is one of the most powerful because it has the eclipses. We have a lunar eclipse on the 14th of March and a solar eclipse on the 29th. More details will come up in the videos as the time progresses and it's more relevant to you. Now I want only to give you a high-level view. We will have a Rahu, so one eclipse is with Rahu, the other is with Ketu, but in any case, these are in general more positive, so we can look towards a peak in the markets, especially for crypto, and we will have also a big ingress at the end of March with Saturn moving into the sidereal Pisces. The second quarter from April to June will continue the energy from March, which is very powerful because the eclipses will be active 3 months, the lunar eclipse, and 6 months to 1 year, the solar eclipse. We can really hope for good influences in April as well, but this will be mostly in the first part of the month, due to the fact that in the mid of April we do have the Saturn Rahu conjunction, which is not the best. Really, I do not see what could be the good manifestation of it. The single good thing is that we will have a lot of Uranus energy. So between Uranus and Saturn, also between Rahu and Uranus, we will have positive aspects, but they are distributed in the beginning and then in the end of the month. So with the negative influence from the conjunction between Rahu and Saturn exactly in the mid of the month. Therefore, the growth could really go on, theoretically at least, from March into April, but the first part of it. And then this conjunction could really trigger a dump and then a recovery in the markets. That would be a way it could really manifest. Then in May, we get another important ingress that would be also in the mid of the month on the 14th, with Jupiter transitioning into the sidereal Gemini. So this is when in the sidereal zodiac we will get this transition into the sign of Gemini, and for a brief period of time they will be together, basically Jupiter in the sidereal and tropical astrology in this Gemini sign, which would mean really a decisive time for markets, in my opinion, for expansion and for restructuring in many ways. Then June, I would say it's a mixed month, and we get their positive aspects from Mars, though, which I told it's interesting and it's quite important. There would be maybe the most important aspects in the year, especially because they fuel the price action. So we can have interesting developments, especially with a potential peak of the liquidity cycle in June as well. But the whole environment will stay volatile. Just be aware of that. The third quarter of the year, from July to September, what can we expect? July is not so positive. We don't have outstanding events there. I would say in terms of aspects in the main financial assets that would really trigger a lot of development, but we do have an important ingress. This time it's the single ingress that I mentioned for the tropical, because it's so important. On the 7th of July we have the first glance, because it will retrograde back into Taurus, and this is a 7-year stay in one sign. It is Uranus in Gemini, and Gemini is associated with markets and trading. Uranus, the disruptor, the innovator. We will get a first glance on what it happens to go into Gemini. In the sidereal, it will still stay in Taurus. I expect still to have a change in energy here, and this is important to take into account the first part of July. Then we do have August. In general, again, historically not the best month, but we do have important developments with Uranus. That is a deja vu or repeating of the volatility from April that I mentioned, and this happens in the second part of August. Unsustainable but potentially significant peaks are possible, especially for some of the cryptocurrencies, for example, which have very good aspects in their own horoscopes at the time. September, we see that in the last years it's not that bearish anymore as we are used to. This is also because of the Uranus transit, but we can expect in 2025 an interesting energy in the first part of the month with Rahu. So it is the North Node which will also bring explosive positive growth. And we have also the eclipse energy here. We do have the first eclipse on the 7th of September and the second one on the 21st. The second one will be less positive, let's put it like this. It would be negative. So again, I would say that the first part of September would be in general more important, more positive for the markets and likely to move prices upwards. We arrived also at the fourth quarter, the bullish time of the year in terms of cycle history. We do have an October that is pretty mixed, I would say, but we have a Mars trine Rahu, which is important and is a positive aspect, but also increases volatility. So we can get irregular, peaks that would be really happening fast, and the pace of development in the markets will accelerate most likely. In November, we do have a big month in general, and this is also the case this time in 2025 when we have positive big aspects in global astrology that are all focused in the mid of the month, and they are with Jupiter, Saturn and Uranus. So what do you want more? So it's like a pinnacle of energy here leading to another final peak possibly in 2025. Then for December it will be a volatile month, very volatile. Again, the growth can happen really in bursts. It is about Rahu energy here, also Lilith, and it's quite chaotic in nature, but we will get also dumps in the first part of the month this time, and a recovery is likely in the mid of December. This is how it looks like in terms of global astrology for 2025. Now, if you are interested to explore more and certain cryptocurrencies in detail. Of course, we do have reports for the main cryptocurrencies with the largest market cap and the ones modeling actually the whole market at the moment. We talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum and Solana. In the 2025 yearly forecast, we do have also a very detailed report about the global astrology, mainly what I shared with you now, but with more details in written and video format. And we do have the financial calendar for Ethereum, Solana and Bitcoin, also the price trajectory for all of them, which is the new method covering a sort of moving average for the whole year from January to December in 2025. So if you are interested in this, you are welcome to check. The links are in the description. Thank you again for your attention, for liking and subscribing. It genuinely helps the channel, and I am very grateful for that. Thank you, and all the best for the new year. See you.